Hello and grüß Gott. On this video we're going to be installing a battery box or a battery cover on our 2015 Volkswagen Passat TSI. And so we're going to go over to the engine compartment. I'm going to show you how to work safely, and we're going to get started in here in a second. But before we get started, I want to mention anytime you're working around a battery, you should always wear safety glasses. I've actually seen somebody have a battery explode in their face. Not a good thing to have happen. So we'll go over to the car and I'll show you what's next. So here's the stock battery box, you might call it. It's just sort of a pseudo cloth type thing that covers the battery. And whenever you're disconnecting the battery, you always want to disconnect the negative first, followed by the positive. So we're going to disconnect the negative and we're going to tape up that terminal and move the negative lead out of the way. That way, if you were to touch the positive to any part of the ground, you're not going to have a short circuit. So we're going to get that started here in a second, and we'll be right back. Once you have the leads moved out of the way, this cover piece will just come right off, and then you can throw it away. And now we're going to see about installing the beautiful new plastic piece. Okay, to install the box, what we're going to do is we separate it into the two pieces, and we're going to put the back piece on first. And this ground wire has to run through this part here, but it's tied to the chassis in a way that it has a curly Q and kind of goes up that way. We may have to loosen that in order to route the wire over this. So we're going to snap it in first, and then I'm going to come back and see how that goes. All right, in order to get this cover put in, it's in two pieces, so you're going to put the back piece in first. Right now I have it snapped in. To facilitate that, you really want to pull the battery out. So to do that, you're going to loosen this clamp that goes down on this side over here. It's a 14mm bolt. And then once you've got this out, you can reach down carefully through the air duct here, or you could actually take it off if you need to. I was able to reach through. And take this off, pull the battery straight up and out carefully. And then this ground wire has to run from here over through here on this box. So we moved it, we clocked it over to the right a bit, and we moved it, and we think this is going to work now. It's just going to take a little bit of forcefulness to force that up in there and then force that onto the battery. So we're going to put the other side of the cover on, and then we're going to come back and take a look at it. All right, we have the other half of the battery box in. It snaps into place. We have these wires routed correctly. This one we're just going to move out of the way for right now. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put the battery back in, push it against the clips on this side that hold it in. Make sure your positive goes towards the front of the vehicle, negative towards the rear. And then we're going to reinstall the 14mm clamp that holds the whole battery into place. It sort of pushes it this way. It's a typical German design. That's the way Mercedes does them too. So we're going to get the battery installed, and then I'm going to come back. All right, so the battery's in, firmly fastened down. You just slide that piece so it pushes against the battery. Now I'm going to expose the positive terminal, and you always connect the positive first when putting the battery in and negative last. So I'll get this hooked up and I'll get the negative terminal on, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, now we have the battery in and reconnected. And so now I'm going to put the battery box lid on, and I'll come back and show you the final look. Okay, so here it is, the final finished version of the battery plastic cover box. And that's all there is to this video. Thanks for watching. Tschüss.